Welcome back, Gadgeteers. So it's been a minute since I've shot a video. Actually, I think about 2 months, and I did get a couple of comments and questions asking if I was okay. The answer is yes, I am. Well, I mean, as okay as I can be. I'll get into that in another video when we talk about my health issues. So this video I've been wanting to make for quite a long time, but before I get started, I want to let you know that I'm going to try and shoot the entire video in perpetuity without any breaks. So essentially, it's going to be a little bit meandering and getting off topic and back on topic. I'll try to be good about that, but if you don't like that type of video off the cuff, this one isn't for you. So, quite a while ago, and I'm looking at my page, my web page, I should say my YouTube page. I actually made a video on March 20th of 2017 when I received a 2009 MacBook Pro unibody design. So it was the first unibody back in 2009. And you know, it's a little bit heavy and it's got its issues, but I guess the point is I'm sitting here recording on it right now. It works perfectly well. Now, I've done a couple of things to make it work better, so I thought I would go through those with you. And we need to talk about this desire by Apple to basically make you go out. They really make you have anxiety, and you think you've got to run out and buy a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air with an M1 or an M2. And if you can't do that, then you're a loser. So let's take a look at the stats before we get into that on this particular Mac. Not too overly exciting. First thing you might notice is it has Mac OS Catalina. So that operating system is too new for this MacBook. Who would know? Version 10.15.3. It is a 13-inch mid-2009, 2.2 gigahertz processor, Intel Core 2 Duo, 8 gigabytes of memory. So originally it had 4. It can take a maximum of 8 gigabytes. So I went ahead and put 8 gigabytes in, DDR3. We won't even talk about graphics. That's just a big joke. But the cool thing is I can watch YouTube videos. I actually can watch them at 1080p when I'm not recording like I am. So, not too shabby. Now let's check out System Report. Here's a couple more things I did. So, we talked about video. We talked about memory. I went ahead and upped the memory to 8 gigabytes. That way I don't have to keep loading things in and out of memory and slowing the system down. And if I go down to power, I have a newer battery I put in here. And this system is not going to give you the battery life of a modern MacBook. It's just not. I think what I see with it is around 90 minutes. So it doesn't go forever. It's not 13, 14 hours like a modern MacBook. So that's not a big problem for me. Usually I'm on power cord anyway. Then if we go down to SATA Express, you'll see I have a SanDisk drive here. So I put in an SSD, solid state drive, 240 gigabytes. It wasn't that difficult. I really believe most people could do it. You just have to have a little patience. So 240 gigabytes, I want to say the hard drive was like a 256 gig. I really don't remember anymore. But an SSD definitely speeds things up. Speed is relative here. So if I open an application, I might have to wait 5 or 6 seconds. On new systems, you know, we usually see the application coming up and doing something in about a second. So with that SSD and that extra memory, um, it's better. It's much, much better, especially on the boot. Okay, so what else did I do to this system? I don't know if anybody has used this, but if you go to DOSDude1.com, he has some personal software that he's designed, patchers, and I have used the macOS Catalina patcher. So this system pretty much would have been left off at El Capitan, and there's problems with that, mainly something that Apple kind of creates. They don't let applications install unless it's a fairly up-to-date operating system. So Mac OS El Capitan isn't considered new enough for many things, even really Firefox. Well, I can't guarantee Firefox, but I can't even get iMovie. Well, I couldn't when I was on El Capitan. So there are problems if you don't do an update. Again, this patcher, it had some quirks that made it a little bit more difficult than just installing a SSD, but it wasn't impossible. There's like, when you install the patcher, 2 or 3 ways that you can do it, and I don't remember enough detail. I have to look at it again, but one of the ways worked, the other 2 didn't work, and it didn't harm my system at all when it didn't work, so that was no big deal. I won't say it's super easy. I'll give it like a 2.5 out of 5. If you really want to put in the effort, you probably can get it working, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. Maybe hand it over to somebody that's into IT and understands. It's very good about saving your data and information. So everything that you had previously, and you probably can't see that because my face is in the way. Everything that you had previously on your system is still there. Although I do recommend a backup because you just should do a backup. So what am I using this system for? Well, I talked about that in another video I did. It actually was a video about what am I using this system for, and it was about 2 years ago. And there's several things I can do with this system that I don't need to go out and spend $1,200 or whatever the sale price is for a MacBook Air M1 or a MacBook Pro M1. So one thing, I can watch video at 1080p. I think I already mentioned that. It actually works quite well. Not a problem. The other thing I can do, and I realize this is, you're going to say, oh no, no, he's gone the Apple way. I can use iMessage, which I do like, I'm going to admit. I will be leaving the Mac and Apple ecosystem slowly but surely. I've got a couple of things that are holding me back from leaving it. See if I can get it out. One is, of course, an iPhone. And the other is, let's see if you can see it. Hello, light up, say hello. Anyway, the watch. And when I bought the iPhone, that was about 2019. I really wished I'd never done it. I'd always been on Android before that. In some ways, some of the features of the walled garden are wonderful. In other ways, some are frustratingly irritating. I got the Apple Watch because, as you guessed it, my S3 Frontier watch, which is Android based, wasn't working very well. So not all the features would work on it, even though there was Samsung software for it in the App Store for Apple. So I really like the features on watches. I do a lot with it. Weather, quick messages, photos if somebody sends me a photo, um, my steps, which is very important. You know, I need to exercise and I like to have something that will stimulate me and make me feel like, you know, I'm doing better every day. If I can look at that and see something concrete, I really like it. So I thought, well, I'll buy an Apple Watch. And so these two items kind of have me stuck. And I know most people are saying, again, here we go. Are you crazy? There's an iPhone 12 out. iPhone 13's coming. But the iPhone 10 does everything that I need it to do. It's more than powerful enough. There's no lag, no problems. I suppose eventually the battery will give out. And then I'm going to look at an Android phone again. One of the main reasons is because of music. So, what I want to do, another thing I want to do with this laptop is use my music app to load music to my iPhone. I had the same application on another Mac, which I've given my wife the newer Mac, and it's really, really a pain in the ass to get music from your music app over to your iPhone. Now, one of the issues is, of course, I have the music on a separate hard drive. Well, another plus for this old 2009 laptop is it has USB-A ports, and I realize that sounds like big deal, but it's nice to be able to take my portable hard drive with all my music on it, plug it in, run a search for some musician, and then transfer it over into, let's see if I can get this to open, transfer it over into music and then into my phone. And I have plenty of storage available on my phone, so I don't want to take a quick tour. So anyway, at least I think it's music. Do I have to go and get iTunes? I don't think so. Here we go. Anyway, I shouldn't have started this. Now I'm going to be distracted. You know how it gets. It's hideous. Okay, here is my main problem with the walled garden issue. Get 3 months of free music. I don't want to pay for free music. And the other thing I don't want to do is pay $1, $2, $3 to download a single track. And I don't really want to pay $10 to download a whole album when I have tons of music already on my hard drive. But they try to make it so that it's too difficult to get that music on your iPhone via, you can only do it via a MacBook. And it's just a complicated process, even for the walled garden. So what do they have in mind? Well, first of all, get 3 months of free music, and then of course you're going to have to start paying after that. So I'm going to say not now, but anyway. Yeah, iTunes Store. And I don't have my hard drive. Oh, you have to plug your iPhone into the Mac. Surprise! In order for it to show up so you can start loading music on it. So that's another feature I'm using it for, but it just kind of grates me. With an Android phone, you can basically take a hard drive with music on it, plug the Android phone into a computer, same with the hard drive, drop and drag, and you're done. That's it. I love it. Incidentally, when you copy music from your hard drive, you have to copy it to your music app or iTunes first, which is on your local hard drive, then to your phone. That's correct. I'm not lying. It's the only way to do it. I've tried every other way. All right. Anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand. So here I am using this 2009 MacBook Pro to make a video, long and windy, I admit. And there are people slavering, just they don't know what to think. They want the M1 or the M2 Mac because they've seen the videos on it on YouTube where they're comparing it and telling you how great it is. But before you run out and buy a new MacBook or any new Mac, you really do have to ask yourself, wait a minute, what exactly am I doing on that Mac that would benefit me? Now, they say all these things are faster, and I'm somewhat concerned that those may be artificial stats that we're getting, because for one thing, Apple is not going to let a new product be released and be slower than the previous product. Think of that. And secondly, even if they are faster, by how much? So I can edit on this system. Now, rendering is a real drag. It takes a long time. Um, but I can edit video, I can render, I can capture video, I can do things with applications, I can watch videos, I have iMessage. I know. I can get access to all my photos and the usual stuff that are part of the walled garden. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess it depends in what camp you're in. If you're in the Linux camp, which most of my viewers are, first time I said Linux in this video. Wow. I think you probably understand and appreciate Linux, and an Android phone goes with it well because you can copy files back and forth between your Android phone, and it's very simple to do. Once you head over into the Apple, uh, the walled garden as it is, you get a phone, you get a watch, you get a computer, all the things you use, they entice you with something that should be basic that you really don't care about. Messages, I didn't. But then all of a sudden, I really like to be able to type messages on my MacBook. It was really nice because I could type really fast, get information to the person really quickly. And I know you can do other things on the iPhone to be pretty much as fast, but I really like the laptop for that. So what do I do if I use Android? Excuse me, not Android. Well, yeah, Android and Linux. Usually what I do is go to the Facebook website, and hopefully the person gets Facebook, and if I happen to be at a computer, I can send them a message just as fast as I can on iMessage. So, or excuse me, messages. There's always a workaround, especially when you move to that particular system. There's always some kind of workaround. My latest daily driver has been my ThinkPad P1, which is an excellent system still, even though I bought it a few years ago. I guess the end point of this whole video is, one, the grass isn't greener on the other side. So if you really enjoy Android, Linux, Windows, don't be in such a rush to switch over, because initially it's foreign, and then you realize the only way to make it easier is to get more products, to have them all work together. And the second thing is, if you do enter the Apple ecosystem, you do not need to buy stuff every year or every other year. It really depends on your usage. If you're one of the people who's editing video and you're on the road and you need fast editing, and you're doing 4K and you need fast rendering times, I can understand that. That's a different matter. I don't know what else much that you would need it for, um, but there are people who use them and they have their reasons and they're valid. I'm just saying that probably the majority, it's kind of like the new car smell, you know? I got a new MacBook. It's the M1 smell. And next year, I'm going to get the M2 smell, and you're going to like it. When in reality, when you sit in somebody's car that has that new car smell, do we really care? Not really. But people see the Apple logo as a sign of prosperity, if you will. And I would say that used to be the case, but not anymore. So don't run out. Buy the latest product from Apple. As you can see here with my 2009 MacBook Pro, just think of that. 12 years. It's 12 years old and it still works. There's very little point to upgrading every year, even every 2 years. I hate to say it, even every 3 years. Most people around where I live think of a MacBook as a major investment. So if they spend $1,500, they expect it to last 3 years. And if you think about that, you're looking at $500 per year. That's a lot of money. Most people won't blow $500 frivolously. Okay, maybe they will. All right, anyway, before you replace your MacBook Pro or whatever else you got, think about it. Now, if you get a chance, make sure you subscribe. And you know what everybody says, turn on the little bell icon so that you will get notifications about my videos. Lately, I haven't had very many out. I'm going to try to do better and get more videos out because it does definitely, from a mental standpoint, make me feel better. But in order for you to be able to see these videos, we want to make sure you get notified. And I always enjoy having your comments. So if you have some comments you'd like to leave, information that I got wrong on the video, or maybe some viewpoint you have, I always love that stuff. And as always, thank you for watching. I will see you next time on Fast Gadgets.